and the sea is hence. What cares these warriors for the name of king? To cabin, silence, trouble us not.
May God remember whom thou hast aboard.
None that I more love than thyself. You are a counselor. If you could command these elements to silence, work the peace of the present, we will not hand a rope more. Use your authority. If you cannot, give thanks you have lived so long. Make yourself ready in your cabins for the mischance of the hour in Messiah. Cheerly, good hearts, out of our way, I say.
I have great comfort from this fellow. He that is born to be thankful and drowned, he thinks he will not drowning mark upon him. Make to his hanging, make him come with his destiny at our table, for our little advantage. If he be not born to be hanged, our case is miserable.
Down with the Tempest! There! Lower! Lower! Render the drive with the main course! Laying upon this howling. They're louder than the weather or our office. Come again? What do you here? Shall we go on and drown? Have you a mind to sink?
A pop to your throat, you bawling, blasphemous, incharitable dog!
Work you, then!
Hey, come! Hey, you wholesome insolent nose-bender! You're not ready to drown in the earth!
I'll warrant you for drowning. Though the ship were no stronger than a nutshell, and as leaky as an unstaunched wench.
Clear a hole! Hole! There are two courses!
The lost to prayers are lost. The king of Prince and prayers.
Must a rose be cold?
What cases is that?
I'm out of patience!
Never the cheater or those but drunkards! Watch that rascal! Put somewhere that drone in the washing up 10 times!
Kill me, hanged yet! Will the cover runner swear against it and gave it whites to glut him? Farewell, my husband! Farewell! Snitch!
Let's go fight with the king!
Let's get leaving here!
Now, would I give 1,000 furlongs of sea for an acre of barren ground? Long heath, brown furs, anything. The will's about be done, but I would fain die a dry death.
If by your art, my dearest father, you have put the wild waters in this roar, allay them. The sky, it seems, would pour down stinking pitch, but that the sea, mounting to the welkin stream, dashes the fire out. Oh, I have suffered with those that I saw suffer. A brave vessel who had no doubt some noble creature in her, dashed all to pieces. The cry did knock against my very heart. Had I been any god of power, I would have sunk the sea within the earth, ere it should the good ship so have swallowed the frothing souls within her.
Collected, no more amazement. Tell your piteous hearts there's no harm done.
Oh,
no
the day.
harm. I have done nothing but in care of thee. Of thee, my dear one, thee, my daughter, who art ignorant of what thou art, not knowing of whence I am. Nor that I am more better than Prospero, master of this full poor cell, and thy no greater father.
Don't you know it never meddle with my thoughts?
It's time I should inform thee further. Bend thy hand and pluck my magic garment from me. Lie there, mine art. Wipe thou thine eyes. Have comfort. The direful spectacle of the wreck which touched the very virtue of compassion in thee, I have with such provision in mine art so safely boarded that there is no soul, no, not so much perdition as one hair betwixt to any creature in that vessel which thou heardst cry, which thou sawest sink. Sit down, for thou must now know further.
You have often begun to tell me what I am, but stopped and led me to a bootless inquisition, concluding, stay, not yet.
The hour is now come. The very minute bids thee ope thine ear. Obey and be attentive. Canst thou remember a time before we came into this cell? I do not think thou canst, for then thou wast not out 3 years old.
Certainly, sir, I can.
By what? By any other house or image? Of anything, the image, tell me, that hath kept with thy remembrance.
It is far off, and rather like a dream than an assurance that my remembrance warrants. Had I not 4 or 5 women once attended me?
Thou hadst, and murmurenda. But how is it that this keeps in thy mind? What seest thou else in the dark backward in the bosom of time? If thou rememberest aught ere thou camest here, how thou camest here thou mayest.
That I do not.
12 years since, Miranda. 12 years since. Thy father was the Duke of Milan and a prince of power.
Sir, are not you my father?
Thy mother was a piece of virtue when she said thou wast my daughter. But thy father was the Duke of Milan and his only heir a princess. No worse issue.
Heavens, what foul play had we that we came from thence? Or blessed was we did?
Both, my girl. By foul play, as thou sayest, for we heaped thence. But blessedly hope hither.
My heart bleeds to think of the teen I have turned you to, which is from my remembrance. Please you farther.
My brother and thy uncle called Antonio. I pray thee mark me, that a brother should be so perfidious. He who next thyself all the world I loved, and to him puts the manage of my state. As at that time through all the signories it was the first and Prospero the prime duke, being so reputed in dignity. And for the liberal arts without a parallel, those being all my study. The government I cast upon my brother, and to my state grew stranger, being transported and wrapped in secret studies. Thy false uncle. Dost thou attend me?
Sir, most heedfully.
Being once perfected how to grant suits, how to deny them, who to advance and who to trash for overtopping, new created the creatures that were mine, I say, or else new formed them or changed them. Having both the key of officer and office, set all hearts of the states to what's tune pleased his ear, that now he was the ivy which had hidden my princely trunk and sucked my verdure out of. Thou attend'st not.
Oh, good sir, I do.
I pray thee, mark me. I, thus neglecting worldly ends, all dedicated to closeness and the bettering of my mind with that which but by being so retired overprized all popular rate. In my false brother, await an evil nature, and my trust, like a good parent, did beget of him a falsehood in its contrary, as great as my trust was, which had indeed no limit. A confidence sans bound. It being thus lorded, not only with what my revenue yielded, but what my power might else exact, like one who, having the truth by telling of it, made such a sinner of his memory to credit his own lie, he did believe he was indeed the Duke, out to the substitution, and executing the outward show of royalty with all prerogative, hence his ambition grown. Dost thou hear?
Oh, your tale, sir, would cure deafness.
To have no screen between this part he played and him he played it for, he needs will be absolute villain. Me, poor man, my library was dukedom large enough. Of temporal royalties he thinks me now incapable. Confederate so dry he was for sway with the King of Naples. To give him annual tribute, do him homage, subject his coronet to his crown, and bend the dukedom yet unbound. Alas, poor me, the most ignoble stooping.
Oh, heavens!
Mark his condition and the event. Then tell me if this might be a brother.
I should sin to speak but nobly of my grandmother. Good wombs have borne bad sons.
Now the condition. This King of Naples, being an enemy to me inveterate, hearkens my brother's suit, which was that he, in lieu of the premises of homage, and I know not how much tribute, should presently extirpate me and mine out of the dukedom, and confer vermin with all the honours on my brother, whereon a treacherous army levied one midnight fitted to that purpose did Antonio open the gates of men, and in the dead of darkness the ministers for the purpose hurried thence me, and that crying sung.
Alack, for pity! I not remembering how I cried out then will cry it o'er again. It is a hint that brings mine eyes to it.
Here a little further, and then I'll bring thee to the present business which now supports, without the which this story were most impertinent.
Wherefore do they not that hour destroy us?
Well demanded, wench. My tale provokes that question. Dear they durst not. So dear the love my people bore me, nor set a mark so bloody on that business, but with colours fairer painted their foul ends. In few, they hurried us aboard a bark, bore us some leagues to sea, where they prepared a rotten carcass of a boat, not rigged, no tackle, sail, no mast, the very rats instinctively have quit. There they hoist us, to cry to the sea that roars to us, to sigh to the winds whose pity, sighing back again, did us but love it.
Alack, what trouble was I then to you?
Cherubim thou wast that did preserve me. Thou didst find, infuse it with a fortitude from heaven, when I have decked the sea with drops full salt under my burden grew, which raised in me an undergoing stomach to bear up against what should ensue.
How came we ashore?
By providence divine. Some food we had and some fresh water that a noble Neapolitan, Gonzala, out of her charity, who being then appointed mistress of this design, did give us with rich garments, linen, stuffs, and necessaries, which since have steadied much. So of her gentleness, knowing I loved my books, she furnished me from mine own library with volumes that I prize above my dukedom.
Would I might but ever see that one.
Now I arise, sit still, and hear the last of our sea sorrow. Here on this island we arrived, and here have I, thy schoolmaster, made thee more profits than other princesses can that have more time for vainer hours, and tutors not so careful.
Heavens, thank you for it. And now, I pray you, sir, for still 'tis beating in my mind, your reason for raising this sea storm?
No, thus far forth. By accident most strange, bountiful fortune, now, my dear lady, hath mine enemies brought to the shore. And by my presence I find my zenith doth depend upon a most auspicious star, whose influence, if now I court not, but omit, my fortunes will ever after prove. Here 6 more questions. Thou art inclined to sleep. 'Tis a good dullness. And give it way. I know that canst not choose. Come away, servant. I am ready now. Approach my area, come.
All hail, great master. Grave sir, hail. I come to answer thy best pleasure, be it to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the curled clouds, to thy strong bidding task, Ariel and all his quality.
Hast thou, spirit, performed to point the tempest that I bade thee?
To every article. I boarded the king's ship, now on the beak, now on the deck to waist, and every cabin I flamed amazement. Sometime I divide and burn in many places. On the topmast, the yards and bowsprit, when I flame distinctly, then meet and join. Jove's lightnings, the precursors of the dreadful thunderclaps, more momentary in sight outrunning were not. The fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring, the most mighty Neptune seemed to besiege and make his bold waves tremble. Yea, his dread trident shake.
Thy brave spirit, who was so firm, so constant that the squire would not infect his reason.
Not a soul but felt the fever of the mad and played some tricks of desperation. All but mariners plunged in the foaming brine and quit the vessel, then all afire with me. The king's son, Ferdinand, with hair upstaring, then like reeds, not hair, was the first man that leapt cried, "Hell is empty and all the devils are here!"
That's my spirit. But was not this night shore?
Close by, my master.
Not
Not a hair perished. On their sustaining garments, not a blemish but fresher than before. And as thou badst me, in troops I have dispersed about the isle. The king's son Ferdinand have I landed by himself, who I left cooling of the airs with sighs in an odd angle of the isle, and sitting, his arms in this sad knot.
The king's ship, the mariners. Say how thou hast disposed and all the rest of the fleet.
Safely in harbours the king's ship, in the deep nook where once thou calledst to me up at midnight to fetch dew from the still vexed Bermudes. There she's hid. The mariners, all under hatches stowed, who, with a charm joined to their suffered labour, have left the sea. And for the rest of the fleet which I dispersed, they all have met again, and are upon the Mediterranean float, bound sadly home for Naples, supposing they saw their king's shipwrecked, and his great person perish.
Well, their charge exactly is discharged. But there's more work. What is the time of day?
Past the mid-season.
At least 2 glasses. The time twixt 6 and now must by us both be used most preciously.
Is there more toil? Since thou dost give me pains, let me remember thee what thou hast promised, which is not yet performed in me.
How now? Moody, what is thou canst demand?
My liberty.
For the time be out. No more.
I prithee, remember I have done thee worthy service, told thee no lies, made thee no mistakings, served without no grudge or grumbling. Thou did promise to bank me a full year.
Dost thou forget from what a torment I did free?
No.
Now it does. And thinkst it much to tread the ooze of the sun's deep. To run upon the veins of the north, to do me business in the veins of the north when it is baked with frost.
Do not, sir.
Thou liest, militant thing! Hast thou forgot the fowl which Sycorax, who with age and envy was grown into a hook? Hast thou forgot her? Thou hast! What is her name? Where is she from? Speak, tell me.
Sir, in Algiers.
Was she so? I must once in the month recount what thou hast been which thou forgett'st. This damned witch Sycorax from mischiefs manifold and sorceries terrible from Algiers thou knowest was banished. For one thing she did say would not take her life. Is not this true?
Aye, sir.
This blue-eyed hag was hither brought with child, and here was left by the sailors. Thou, my slave, as thou reportst thyself, was then her servant. And for thou wast a spirit too delicate to act her earthly and abhorred commands, refusing her grand hest, she did confine thee. by help of her more potent ministers and in her most unmitigable rage, into a cloven pine, within which rift imprisoned out its painful remain a dozen years, within which space she died and left thee there, where thou didst bend thy groans as fast as mill wheels strike. Then was this island, save for the sun that she did litter here, the freckled whelp, hag-born, not honoured with a human shape.
Yes, Caliban, her son.
So thing I say so. He, that Caliban whom now I keep in service. Thou best knowest what torment I did find thee in. Thy groans did make wolves howl and penetrate the breasts of ever angry pairs. It was a torment to lay upon the damned which Sycorax could not again undo. It was mine hurt when I arrived and heard thee that bid gape the pine and let thee out.
Thank thee, master.
If thou murmurest, I will rend an oak and peg thee in his knotty entrails, till thou hast howled away 12.
Pardon, master. I will be correspondent to command and do my spriting gently.
So. And after 2 days I will discharge thee.
So my noble master, what shall I do? Say, what shall I do?
Make thyself like a nymph in the sea, subject to no sight but thine and mine, invisible to every eyeball else. Go, take the shape and hither come in. Go, hence, with diligence. Awake, dear heart, awake. Thou hast slept well, awake.
Strangeness of your story, but heaviness in me.
Shake it off. We'll visit Caliban, my slave, who never yield us kindness.
He's a villain, sir, I do not love to look on.
But just as we cannot miss him. He does make our fire, bring in our wood, and serves in offices that profit us. What ho, slave Caliban, thou art thou! Speak!
There's wood enough within.
Come forth, I say, there's other business for thee. Come now, Tortoise Wind! Thine apparition might quite aerial, I can thine ear.
My lord, it shall be done.
Thou poisonous slave, got by the devil himself upon thy wicked dam, come forth!
As wicked do, as ere my mother brushed with raven's feather from unwholesome fen, drop on you both, a southwest blow on ye, and blister ye all o'er.
With this, tonight thou shalt have cramps, side stitches that shall bend thy breath up, urchin shall for that vast night that they may work all exercise on thee. Thou shalt be pinched as thick as honeycomb, pinched for stinging the bees that may.
I must eat my dinner. This island's mine by Sycorax my mother, which thou takest from me. When thou camest first, thou strokest me, and made much of me, wouldst give me water with berries in it, teach me how to name the bigger light, and how the less that burn by day and night. And then I loved thee, and showed thee all the qualities of the isle, the fresh springs, the brine pits, the barren place and fertile. Cursed be I that did so! All the charms of Sycorax, toads, beetles, bats, light on you, for I am all the subjects that you have, which first was mine own king, and here you sty me in this hard rock, whilst you do keep from me the rest of the island.
Most lying slave, whom stripes may move, not kindness. I have used thee, filth as thou art, with humane care, and lodged thee in mine own cell, till thou didst seek to violate the honor of my child.
Oh ho! Ho ho! What's been done? Thou didst prevent me. I peopled else this isle with Caliban.
A horrid slave, which any prince of goodness would not take, being capable of all ill. I pity thee, took pains to make thee speak, taught thee each hour one thing or other. When thou didst wouldst thou, savage, know thine own meaning, but wouldst gather the thing most brutish. I endowed thy purposes with words that made them known. Thy vile race, though thou didst learn, had that int which good natures could not abide to be with, and therefore wast thou deservedly confined into this rock, who hast deserved more than a prison.
You taught me language, and my profit on't is. I know how to curse. The red plague rid you for learning me your language.
Exceed hence. Fetch us in fuel and be quick about it, thou art best to answer other business.
Trucks thou malice.
If thou neglectst or dost unwillingly what I command, I'll rack thee with all cramps, fill all thy bones with aches, make thee wrong that beasts shall tremble at thy din.
No! Pray thee, I must obey. His art is of such power it would control my damned god Setipus and make a vassal of him.
Slave, hence!
Come unto these yellow sands, and then take hands. Curtsy when you have kissed. Wild waves whist, footed featly here and there, and sweet sprite your burden bear. Hark, hark, bow, wow. The Whitestone Fox, hark, hark, I hear the strain of strutting chanticleer cry cock-a-doodle-dow.
Where should this music be? In the air or the earth? It sounds no more, and sure it waits upon some god of the island. Sitting on the bank, weeping again the king, my father's wreck, this music crept by me upon the waters, allaying both their fury, my passion with its sweet air. Yet I have followed it, or it hath drawn me rather. It is gone. No, it begins again.
Full fathom 5 thy father lies, of his bones are coral made. Those are pearls that were his eyes. Nothing of him that doth fade, but doth suffer a silly change into something rich and strange. See nymphs hourly ring his knell. Hark now, I hear them ding dong bell.
The ditty does remember my drowned father. This is no mortal business nor to sound of the earth. Those they are now above me.
Fringe curtain of thine eye advance, and say what thou seest, John.
Is a spirit? Lord, how it looks about. Believe me, sir, it carries a brave form. But 'tis a spirit.
Oh, wench. It eats and sleeps, and hath such senses as we have, such. This gallant which thou seest was in the wreck, and but he something stained with grief that's beauty's canker. Thou mightst call him a goodly person. He hath lost his fellows and strays about to find them.
I might call him a thing divine, for nothing natural I ever saw so noble.
It goes on, I see, as my soul prompted. Spirit, fine spirit, I'll set thee free within 2 days for this.
Most sure, the goddess upon whom these earths attend. Vouchsafe my prayer may know if you remain upon this island, and that you will some good instruction give how I may bear me here. My prime request, which I do last pronounce, is, oh, you wonder, if you be made or no.
No wonder, sir. But certainly I may.
My language, heavens, I am the best of them that speak this speech, were I but were to spoke.
How? The best? What wert thou with the King of Naples heard thee?
A single thing, as I am now that wonders to hear thee speak of Naples. He does hear me, and that he does I weep. Myself in Naples, who with mine eyes never since it ebbed beheld the king my father wrecked.
Oh, mercy.
Yes, faith, and all his lords, the Duke of Milan and his brave son, being twain.
Duke of Milan and his more braver daughter could control thee if now 'twere fits to do it. At the first sight they have changed eyes. Delicate Ariel, I'll set thee free for this. A word, good sir! I fear you have done yourself some wrong. A word!
Why speaks my father so ungently? This is the third man ere I saw, the first that ere I sighed for. Nothing would my father to be inclined my way.
Oh. And your affection's not gone forth. I'll make you the Queen of Naples.
Soft, sir! One word more! They are both in the other's powers, but this swift business I must uneasy make, lest too light winning make the prize light. One word more! I charge thee that thou attend me. Thou dost here usurp the name thou own'st not, and hast put thyself upon this island as a spy to win it from me, the Lord on't.
No, as I'm a man.
There's nothing ill can dwell in such a temple. If the ill spirit have so fair house, good things will strive to dwell with it.
Follow me. Speak not you for him, he's a traitor. I'll manacle thy neck and feet together. Sea water shalt thou drink, thy food shall be the fresh brook mussels, withered roots unhusked, wherein the acorns cradled. Follow!
No! I will resist such entertainment till my enemy has more power!
I pray you, sir, make not too rash a trial of him. He's gentle and not fearful.
What I say, my foot, my tutor? Put thy sword up, traitor, who makes to show but dares not strike. Thy conscience is so possessed with guilt. Come from thy ward, for I can here disarm thee with this stick, and make thy weapon drop.
Beseech you, father.
Hence, hang not on my garments.
Sir, have pity. I'll be his surety.
Silence! One word more shall make me chide thee, if not hate thee. But an advocate for an impostor. Hush. Thou thinkst there is no more such shapes as he, having seen but him and Caliban. Foolish to the most of men, this is a Caliban, and they to him.
My affections that are most humble. I have no ambition to see a goodlier man.
Come on, obey. Thy nerves are in their infancy, you can have no vigor in them.
So they are. My spirits, as in a dream, are all bound up. Father's loss, the weakness which I feel, the wreck of all my friends, nor this man's threats to whom I am subdued, are but light to me. I died withdrew my prison, once the day behold was made. All corners held, so the earth let liberty make use of. Space enough have I in such a prison.
It works. Thou hast done well, fine Ariel. Follow me. Hark what thou art shalt do.
Good sir, my father's of a better nature than he appears by speech. This is a motive which now came from him.
Thou shalt be as free as mountain winds, but then exactly to all points of my command. To the syllable. Come, follow. Speak not for him.
Beseech you, sir, be merry. You have cause, so have we all of joy. For our escape is much beyond our loss. Our hint of woe is common. Every day, some sailor's wife, the masters of some merchant, and the merchant have just our theme of woe. But for the miracle, I mean our preservation, few in millions can speak like us. Then wisely, good sir, weigh our sorrow with our comfort.
Prithee, Gonzalo, peace.
He receives comfort like cold porridge.
The visitor will not give more so.
Look, she's winding up the watch of her wit. By and by it will strike.
Sir,
One, tell.
when every grief is entertained that's offered comes to the entertainer,
$1.
dollar comes to him indeed. You have spoken truer than you purposed.
You have taken it wiselier than I meant you should.
Therefore, my lord,
I prithee,
Spendthrift, as she retake her tongue.
spare.
well, I have done. But yet,
She will be talking.
Which of sea arrangement for a good wager first begins to crow?
The old cock.
The cock.
Done. The wager?
The left.
A match.
Though this island seem to be desert,
So you're paid.
uninhabitable and almost inaccessible,
Yet.
yet
You do not miss.
it needs must be of subtle, tender and delicate temperance.
Temperance was a delicate wench.
Aye, and the subtle is he most learnedly delivered.
The air breathes upon us here most sweetly.
As if it had lungs and rotten ones.
Most perfumed by a fen.
Here is everything advantageous to life.
True, save means to live. Of that there's none, or little.
How lush and lusty the grass looks. How green.
The ground indeed is tawny.
With an eye of green ends.
She was not much.
No, she doth but mistake the truth totally.
But the rarity of it is, which is indeed almost beyond credit,
As many vouched rarities are.
that our garments, being as they were drenched in the sea, hold notwithstanding their freshness and glosses, being rather new-dyed than stained with salt water.
One of her pockets could speak, would not say she buys.
Aye, a very falsely pocket up her report.
Methinks our garments are now as fresh as when we put them on first in Tunis, at the marriage of the king's fair daughter Clarabelle to the king of Tunis.
'Twas a sweet marriage, and we prosper well in our return.
Tunis was never graced before with such a paragon to their queen.
Not since widow Dido's time.
Widow? Gosh, so that's how came that widow in? Widow Dido.
What if she's a widow or Aeneas too? Good Lord, how you take it?
Widow Dido, said you. You make me study of that. She was of Carthage, not of Tunis.
This Tunis, sir, was Carthage.
Carthage?
I assure you, Carthage.
Her word is more than the miraculous heart.
She's raised the wall and houses
What
too.
impossible matter will she make easy next?
I think she will carry this island home in her pocket and give it to her son for an apple.
And sowing the kernels of it in the seed, bring forth more islands.
Aye,
What a good time.
sir, we were talking that our garments seem now as fresh as when we were at Tunis at the marriage of your daughter who is now queen.
The rarest that ever came there.
Maid, I beseech you, Widow Dido.
Widow Dido, why? Widow Dido.
Is not, sir, my garment as fresh as the first day I wore it? I mean, in a sort,
Sort was well fished for.
when I wore it at your daughter's marriage.
Gonzalo, you cram these words into mine ears against the stomach of my sense. Would never married my daughter there, for coming thence, my son is lost. And in my rage, she too, who is so far from Italy removed, we ne'er again shall see her. O thou mine heir of Naples and Macmillan, what strange fish hath made his meal on thee?
Alonso, he may live. I saw him beat the surges under him and ride upon their backs. He trod the water, whose enmity he flung aside, and breasted the surge most swollen that met him. His bold head bowed the contentious waves he kept, and he oared himself with his good arms and lusty stroke to the shore. And I doubt he came alive to land.
No. No. He's gone.
Sir, you may thank yourself for this great loss, which would not bless all Europe with your daughter, but rather lose her to an African, which she at least is banished from your eye, who has caused the wet to grief on.
Prithee, brother, peace!
You were nailed to and importuned otherwise by all of us, and the fair soul herself, which weighed between lowness and obedience, at which end of the beam should bow. We have lost your son, I fear forever. Milan and Naples have more widows in them of this business making than we bring men to comfort them. The fault's your own.
So is the dearest of the lost, brother.
My Lord Sebastian, the truth you speak doth lack some gentleness, and time to speak it in. You rub the sore when you should bring the plaster.
Very well.
And most surgeonly.
It is foul weather, and it's all good, sir, when you are cloudy.
Foul weather.
Very foul.
Had I plantation on this isle, my lord,
So with nettle seed.
The dogs are mallows.
and were the queen on't, what will I do?
Escaping drunk for want of wine.
In the Commonwealth I would by contraries execute all things, for no kind of traffic would I admit, no name a magistrate. Letters shall not be known. Riches, poverty, and use of service, none. Contract succession, born, bound of land, tilth vineyard, none. No use of metal, corn, wine, or oil. No occupation. All men idle, all, and women, too. But innocent and pure, no sovereignty.
Yet she would be queen
The
on.
latter end of her commonwealth forgets the beginning.
All things in common nature should produce without sweat our endeavor. Treason, A felony, sword, pike, knife, gun, or need of any engine would I not have. But nature should bring forth of its own kind all poison, all abundance to feed my innocent people.
No marry amongst our subjects?
None, man. All idle, whores, and knaves.
I would with such perfection govern, sir, to excel the golden age.
Save her majesty.
Long live Gonzalo!
And do you mark me, sir?
Prithee, no more. Thou dost talk nothing to me.
I do well believe your highness, and did it to minister occasion to these gentlemen, who are such sensible and nimble lungs that they always used to laugh at nothing.
'Twas you we laughed at.
Who in this kind of merry fooling am nothing to you, so you may continue and laugh at nothing still.
What a blow was there given.
And it had not fallen flat long.
You are gentlemen of brave metal. You would lift the moon out of her sphere if she would continue in it 5 weeks without changing.
We would so, and then go a bad foul.
Nay, good my lady, be not speak.
No, I warrant you. I will not adventure my discretion so weakly. You laughed me asleep. I'm very heavy.
Go sleep and hear us.
What? All so soon asleep? I wish mine eyes would with themselves shut up my thoughts. I find they're inclined to do so.
Please you, sir, do not omit the heavy offer of it. It seldom visits sorrow. When it doth, it is a comforter.
We too, my lord, will guard your person while you take your rest and to watch your safety.
Thank you. Wondrous heavy.
What a strange drowsiness possesses them.
What's the quality of the climate?
Why then doth it not our eyelids sink? I find not myself disposed to sleep.
All right. My spirits are nimble. They fell together all as by consent. They dropped as by a thunderstroke. What might worthy Sebastian know? What might... No more. And yet, methinks I see it in thy face. What thou shouldst be. The occasion speaks thee, and my strong imagination sees a crown dropping on thy head.
What art thou awake?
Do not hear me speak.
I do, and truly it is a sleepy language, and thou speakest out of thy sleep. What is it thou didst say? This is a strange repose, to be asleep with eyes wide open, standing, speaking, moving, and yet so fast asleep.
Noble Sebastian, thou let's thy fortune sleep. Thou rather wakest while thou art awake.
Thou dost snore distinctly. There's meaning in thy snores.
And more serious than is my custom, you must be so too, if he who was to do travel the world.
Well, I am standing water.
I'll teach you how to slow.
Do so. To add hereditary sloth instructs me.
Oh, if you but knew how you the purpose cherish, whilst thus you mock it, how in stripping it you more invested. Heavy men indeed most often do so near the bottom run by their own fear or terror.
Prithee, say on. The setting of thine eye and cheek proclaim a matter from thee, and a birth indeed which throws thee much to yield.
Thus, sir, although this lady of weak remembrance, there soon shall be of as little memory when she is earth, hath here almost persuaded, for she's a spirit persuasion only professes to persuade. The king, his son's alive, but that's impossible if he's undrowned, as he that sleeps here swims.
I have no hope that he's undrowned.
After that, no hope! What great hope have you? No hope that way is another way so high a hope that even ambition cannot pierce a wink beyond, but doubt discovery there. Will you grant with me that Ferdinand is drowned?
He's gone.
And tell me, who's the next heir of Naples?
Clarabelle.
She that is queen of Tunis. She that dwells 10 leagues beyond man's life. She that from Naples can have no note lest the sun will coast. The man of the moon is too slow. So newborn chins be rough and razorable. She that from whom we all were sea-swallowed, though some cast again, and by that destiny you were born and apt for it was past his prologue. What to come in yours and my discharge?
What stuff is this? How say you? 'Tis true my brother's daughter's queen of Tunis, so is she heir of Naples. Twixt which region there is some space.
Space with every cubit seems crowd. How shall that Clarabelle measure us back to Naples? Keep in Tunis and let Sebastian wait. Say this word, death, which now has seized them, why? No worse than now they are. There be that can rule Naples as well as he that sleeps, lords that can prate as amply and unnecessarily as this Gonzala. I myself could make a chop of his deep chant. You bore the mind that I do. Well, sleep with this for your advancement. Do you understand me?
Methinks I do.
And as your content, tender your own good fortune.
I remember you did supply your brother, Prospero.
True. And look how my garments sit upon me now. Much feeder than before. My brother's servants were then my fellows. Huh? They are my men.
But for your conscience.
So where lies that? As for a card, but put into my slipper, but I feel not this deity in my bosom. 20 consciences that stand twixt me and Millen, handy baby, and melted him less. Here lies your brother. No better than the earth he lies upon, if he were that which now he's like. That's dead. Whom I, with this obedient steer, 3 inches of it, and laid a bed forever, whilst you, doing thus with perpetual wing, for A might put this ancient morsel, this Lady Prudence, which should not abrade our course, I slip abreast. They'll take suggestion as a cat flaps. They'll tell the clock to any business we say befits the hour.
Thy case, dear friend, shall be my precedent. As thou godst Milan, I'll come by Naples. Draw thy sword. One stroke shall free thee from the tribute which thou payest, and I, the king, shall love thee.
Draw together, while I rear my hand, do you the like to fall it on Gonzalo.
Oh, but one word.
My master, through his art, foresees the danger that you, his friend, are in, and sends me forth, or else his project fails, to keep thee living. While you here do snoring lie, open-eyed conspiracy has time to think. If of life you give a care, shake off slumber and beware. Awake, awake!
Let's go, be son.
Oh no, good angels, preserve the king!
Why? How now? Ho! What? Awake? Why are you drawn? Wherefore this ghastly looking?
What's the matter?
Whilst we stood here, securing your repose, even now we heard a hollow burst of bellowing, like bulls or rather lions. Did not wake you, it struck mine ear most terribly.
I heard nothing.
Oh, 'twas a din to fright of monsters here, to make an earthquake. Sure, it was the roar of a whole herd of lions.
Fetch you this, Gonzala.
Upon mine honor, sir. I heard a humming, and that a strange one too, which did awake me. I shaked you, sir, and cried. As mine eyes opened, I saw their weapons drawn. There was a noise that's verily. 'Tis best we stand upon our guard, or that we quit this place.
Lead off this ground, and let me further search for my poor son.
Oh, heavens, keep him from these beasts. Pardon, lad.
Lead away!
Prospero, my lord, shall know what I have done. So, king, go safely on to seek thy son.
That the sun sucks up from bogs, fens, flats, on Prosper fall, and make him, by inch meal, a disease! His spirits hear me, and yet I needs must curse. But they'll no pinch, fright me with urgent shows, lead me like a firebrand out of my way to the dark, unless he bid 'em. But for every trifle are they set upon me, sometimes like apes that mow and chatter at me and after bite me, then like hedgehogs which lie tumbling in my barefoot way and mount their pricks at my footfall. Sometimes am I all wound with adders, who with cloven tongues do hiss me into madness. Lo, no, lo! Here comes a spirit of his, and to torment me for bringing one slowly off or flat, perchance he will not mind me.
Here's neither bush nor shrub to bear off any weather, and another storm brewing. I hear it sing in the wind. Yon same black cloud, yon huge one, looks like a foul bombard that would shed his liquor. If it should thunder as it did before, I'd know not where to hide my head. Yon same black cloud cannot choose but fall by pailfuls. What have we here? A man or a fish? Dead or alive? A fish. He smells like a fish. Very ancient and fish-like smelly. Kind of not of the newest. Poor John. A strange fish. Well, I'm in England now, as once I was, and had but this fish painted, not a holiday full there, but would give a piece of silver. There would this monster make a man. Any strange beast there makes a man. And then when I give it doint or leave a lame beggar, they will lay out 10 to see a dead Indian. Legged, like a man, and his fins, like arms. Over my troth, I do now let loose my opinion. This is no fish, but an islander who's lately suffered by thunderbolts. Alas, the storm has come again. My best way is to creep under his gabardine. There's no other shelter hereabout. Misery acquaints a man with strange bedfellows. I will till the dregs of the storm be past.
I shall no more see to see. Here shall I die, sure. This is a very scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral, but here's my comfort. The master, the swabber, the boatswain, the gunner, and his mates loved Moll and Meg and Marion and Marjorie. But none of us cared for Kate, for she had a tongue with a tang, but cried, "O sailor, go hang!" She loved not the sailor, tartar, pitched yet a tailor might scratch her where she did itch. And the sea boys have let her go hang. That's a scurvy tune too, but it's my comfort.
Do not torment me out!
What's the matter? Have we devils here? You put tricks upon us with savages and men of end, huh? I have not escaped drowning now to be afeard of your 4 legs. For it's been said, as proper a man as ever went on 4 legs cannot make him give ground. It shall be said so again. Will Stefano breathe his nostrils?
The spirit torments me out!
This is some monster of the owl with 4 legs. Well, I've got as I take it. Thank you. Well, what the devil should give him our language? I'll give him some relief if I be but for that. If I can recover him and keep him tame, and get to Naples with him, he's a present for any emperor that ever trod on neath leather.
Do not torment me, prithee! I'll bring my wood home faster!
He's in his fit now and does not talk after the wisest. He shall taste of my bottle. If you have never drunk wine before, it will go near remove his fit. If I can recover him and keep him tame, I will not take too much for him. He shall pay for him that hath them, and that soundly.
Thou dost forget with little heart, I know thou wilt anon. By thy trembling, now prosperous upon the owl.
Come on your ways. Open your mouth. Here is that which will give language to you, cat. Open your mouth. This will shake your shaking, I can tell you, and that soundly. Here, you can't tell who's your friend. Open your chaps again.
I should know that voice. It should be. But he is drowned, and these are devils. Oh, defend me.
4 legs and 2 voices. A most elegant monster. His forward voice now is to speak well of his friend. His backward voice to utter foul speeches and to detract. With all the wine in my bottle will recover him, I'll help his ague. Come. Hey, man, I'll pour some on the other mouth.
Stefano?
Stefano, Coey? Mercy, mercy. This is the devil, no monster. Oh, leave him. I have no long spoon.
Stefano, if thou beest, Stefano, touch me and speak to me, for I am Trinculo. Be not afeard, thy good friend Trinculo.
Thou beest, Trinculo, come forth. I'll pull thee by the lesser legs. They be Trinculo's legs, these are they. Thou art very Trinculo indeed. How canst thou to be the siege of this mooncalf? Can he vent Trinculos?
I took him to be killed by a thunderstroke. And art thou not drowned, Stefano? I hope now thou art not drowned. Is the storm overblown? I hid me under the dead mooncalf's gabardine for fear of the storm. And art thou living, Stefano? Oh, Stefano, to Neapolitan skate.
Oh, prithee, do not turn me about. My stomach is not constant.
These be fine things. And if they be not spirits, that's a brave god and bears celestial liquor.
How camest thou hither? Swear by this bottle how thou camest hither. I escaped upon it but a sack which a sailor teed overboard. By this bottle which I made of the bark of a tree with mine own hands since I was cast ashore.
I'll swear upon that bottle to be thy true subject, for the liquor it is not earthly.
Here, swear then how thou escapest.
Swim ashore, man, like a duck. I can swim like a duck, I'll be sworn.
There, kiss the book. Thou canst swim like a duck, thou art made like a goose.
Oh, heaven, oh, hast any more of this?
Oh, but man, my cellar is in a rock by the seaside where my wine is hid. How now, Mooncalf, how dost thine ague?
Hast thou not dropped from heaven?
Out of the moon, I do assure thee. I was the man of the moon when time was.
The man of the moon! I have seen thee in her, and I do adore thee. My mistress showed me thee, and thy dog, and thy bush.
Don't swear to that. Kiss the book. I'll furnish it anon with new contents. Swear.
By this good life is a most ridiculous monster. I have feared of him, a most scurvy monster. The man in the moon, a most ridiculous monster to make a wonder of a poor drunkard.
Well drawn. I'll show thee every fertile inch of the island. I prithee, be my god. I will kiss thy foot.
A most ridiculous monster.
Come on then, down and swear.
I could find it in my heart to beat him.
Come, kiss.
But the poor monsters didn't drink. An abominable monster.
All the best springs. I'll pluck thee berries. I'll fish for thee and get thee wood enough. A plague upon the tyrant that I serve. I'll bear him no more six, but follow thee, thou wondrous man.
A most ridiculous monster to make a wonder of a poor drunkard.
I prithee, let me bring thee where crabs grow, and I with my long nails will dig thee pig nuts, show thee a jay's nest, and instruct thee how to snare the nimble marmoset. I'll bring thee to clustering filberts, and sometimes I'll get the young scammels from the rock. Wilt thou go with me?
I prithee now, lead the way.
Oh.
Without any more talking. Triculo, the king and all our company else being drowned. We will inherit here. Here, bear my bottle, fellow. Triculo will fill him by and by again.
Farewell, master! Farewell, farewell!
A howling monster!
No more dance!
Monster.
Or make for fish! Nor fetching, firing, yet requiring! Nor scrape entering! Nor walk dish! Ban, ban! Car Caliban has a new master! Get a new man! Freedom! Heide! Heide! Freedom! Freedom! Heide! Freedom!
Brave monster, lead the way!
Some sports are painful, and their labor's delight in them sets off. Some kinds of baseness are nobly undergone, and most poor matters point to rich ends. This my mean task would be as heavy to me as odious, but the mistress which I serve quickens what's dead, and makes my labors pleasures. Oh, she is 10 times more gentle than her father's crabbed, and he's composed of harshness. I must remove some thousands of these logs and pile them up upon a soaring junction. My sweet mistress weeps when she sees me work and says such baseness had never like executor. I forget that such sweet thoughts do even refresh my labors. Most busy beast when I do it.
Alas, now pray you, work not so hard. And would the lightning had burnt up those logs you are enjoined to pile. Pray set it down and rest you. When this burns, 'twill weep for having wearied you. My father is hard at study. Now, rest yourself. He's safe for these 3 hours.
Oh, most dear mistress, the sun will set before I shall discharge what I must strive to do.
If you'll sit down, I'll bear your logs the while. Pray give me that. I'll carry it to the pile.
No, precious creature, I had rather crack my sinews, break my back, than you should such dishonor undergo, while I sit lazy by.
It would become me as well as it does you, and I should do it with much more ease, for my goodwill is to it, and yours is against.
Thou art infected. This visitation shows it.
You look wearily.
Oh, no, noble mistress, it is fresh morning with me when you are by at night. I do beseech you, chiefly that I might set it in my prayers. What is your name?
Miranda. My father had broke your hest to say so.
I admired Miranda. Indeed, the top of admiration, worth what's dearest to the world. Full many a lady I have eyed with best regard, and many a time the harmony of their tongues hath into bondage brought my too diligent ear. For several virtues have I like several women. Never any was so full soul, but some defect in her did quarrel with the noblest grace she owed and put it to the foil. But you, oh, you, so perfect and so peerless, are created of every creature's best.
I do not know one of my sex. No woman's face remembers, save but my glass mine own. Nor have I known more than I may call man than you, good friend. And my dear father. How features are abroad, I am skilless of, but by my modesty, the jewel in my dower, I would not wish any companion in the world but you, nor could imagination form a shape besides yourself to like of. But I prattle something too wildly, and my father's precepts I therein do forget.
I am in my condition a prince, Miranda. I do think a king. I would not so, and would no more endure this wooden slavery than to suffer the flesh fly blow my mouth. Hear myself speak. The very instant that I saw you, did my heart fly to your service. It resides to make me slave to it, and for your sake am I this patient long enough.
Do you love me?
Oh, heaven, oh, earth, bear witness to this sound and crown will I profess with kind event if I speak true. If haughtily invert what best is boded me to mischief, I, beyond all limit, or what else in the world, do love, prize, honor you.
I am a fool to weep at what I am glad of.
Fair encounter of 2 most rare affections. Heaven's rain grace on that which beats between them.
Wherefore weep you?
At mine own unworthiness that dare not offer what I desire to give, and much less take what I shall die to want. This is trifling, and all the more it seeks to hide itself, the bigger bulk it shows. Hence bashful cunning, and prompts me plain and holy innocence. I am your wife if you will marry me. If not, I'll die your maid. To be your fellow you may deny me, but I'll be your servant whether you will or no.
My mistress dearest, and I thus humble ever.
My husband, then?
Aye, with a heart as willing as bondage, heir of freedom. Here's my hand.
And mine, with my heart in it. And now farewell, till half an hour hence.
1,000,000.
So glad of this as they, I cannot say. But my rejoicing at nothing can be more. I'll be to my book, for yet ere supper time must I perform much business appertaining.
Now that be! Oh, the brother's out! I will drink water! I drunk before! Therefore, bear up and pardon, sir monster! Drink to me!
Servant monster, the folly of this island. I say there are but 5 upon this island. We are 3 of them. The other two be praying like us, the state totters.
Hey, servant monster, I bid thee. Eyes are almost set in thy head.
What should they be said else? He were a brave monster indeed if they was set in his tail.
That monster has drowned his tongue in sack. For my birth, the sea cannot drown me. I swam ere I could recover the shore, 530 leagues off and on. By this light, thou shalt be my lieutenant, master, or my standard.
Your lieutenant, if you list, he's no standard.
Will not run, monsieur, master.
Nor go neither, but you'll lie like dogs and say nothing neither.
Mooncalf, speak what's there left, thou beest a good mooncalf.
How does thine honor? Let me lick thy shoe. I'll not serve him. He is not valiant.
Thou liest, most ignorant monster. I am in case to jostle a constable. Thou debauched fish, thou? Was ever a man a coward who has drunk as much sack as I today? Wilt thou tell a monstrous libing, but have a monster and have a fish?
No, he mocks me. Wilt thou let him, my lord?
Lord, quoth he, that a monster should be such a natural.
No, no, again! Bite him to death, I prithee.
There you go. Keep a good tongue in your head. If you prove a mutineer, what next tree? The poor master's my subject. He shall not suffer indignity.
I thank my noble master. Wilt thou be pleased to hearken once again to the suit I made to thee?
No, will I? Kneel and repeat it. I will stand. Search the drink, you know.
Why, as I told thee, 'tis a custom with him of the afternoon to sleep. As I told thee, I am subject to a tyrant, a sorcerer, that hath cheated me of the island.
Thou liest, monster!
Thou liest, thou jesting monkey, thou! Would my noble master would destroy thee! I do not lie.
There you go. If you trouble me more, tail by this hand, I'll supplant some of your teeth.
Why, I said nothing.
Well, man, no more. Proceed.
I say by sorcery he got this isle. From me he got it. If thy greatness will revenge it on him, for I know thou darest, but this thing dare not.
That's most certain.
Thou shalt be lord on't, and I'll serve thee.
How now shall this be compassed? Canst thou bring me to the party?
Aye, my lord. I'll yield him thee asleep, where thou mayst knock a nail into his head.
Thou liest, monster, thou canst not!
What abiding is this? Thou scum patch thou! Until beseech thy greatness give him blows, and take the bottle from him. When that's gone, he'll drink doppert brine, for I'll not show him where the quick freshes are.
There we go, run into no further danger. Interrupt the monster one word further, and by this handle, I'll turn my mercy out of doors and make a stockfish of thee.
Why, what did I? I did nothing. I'll go further off.
Didst thou not say he lied? No, yes! Say so! Take no less! As you like this, give me the lie another time!
I did not give the lie. Out of your wits and hearing too? A pox of your bottle. This can sack and drinking do. I'm urine on your monster, and the devil take your fingers.
No, forward with your tail. Really, stand further off.
As I told thee, I'll yield him thee asleep, where thou mayest knock a nail into his head, having first seized his books, or with a log batter in his skull, or cut his weasel with a knife, or punch him with a stake. Remember first, master, to possess his books. Without him, he's but a sot, as I am. And hath not one spirit to command, they all hate him as rootedly as I. Burn but his books. He hath brave utensils, so he calls them, which, when he has a house, he'll deck withal. And that to consider most deeply is the beauty of his daughter. He himself calls her a nonpareil. I never saw a woman but Sycorax, my dam, and she as far surpasseth Sycorax as greatest does least.
Is it so brave a lass?
Aye, my lord. She will become thy bed, I warrant, and bring thee forth brave brood.
Master? I'll kill this man. His daughter and I will be king and queen. Save our graces. And Triculo, and thyself shall be viceroys. Dost thou like the plot, Triculo?
Excellent!
Give me thy hand. I'm sorry I beat thee, but wilt thou live? Keep a good time in your head.
Within this half an hour will he be asleep. Wilt thou destroy him then?
Mine honor.
This will I tell my master.
Oh, thou makest me merry. I am full of pleasure. Let us be jocund. Will you show the catch you taught me but while there?
At thy request, master, I will do reason. Any reason. Come on, Triculo, let us sing. Flout 'em and scout 'em and scout 'em and flout 'em. Lord is free.
That's not the tune.
What is this saying?
The tune of our catch played by Picture of Nobody.
If thou beest a man, show thyself without likeness. If thou beest a devil, then take thy list.
Oh, forgive me my sins.
He that does pays all debts. I defy thee, mercy upon us.
Art thou afeard, master?
No, master, not I.
Be not afeard. This isle is full of noises, sounds, and sweet airs that give delight and hurt not. Sometimes 1,000 twangling voices will hum about mine ears. Sometimes sounds that, if I then had waked, would make me sleep again. And then, in dreaming, the clouds methought would open and show forth riches, ready to drop upon me. That if I waked, I cried to dream again.
It shall prove a brave kingdom to me, or I shall have my music and nothing.
When Prospero is destroyed!
By and by, I remember the story.
The sound is going away. Let's follow it and after do our work.
Lead on, monster, and we'll follow. Oh, I can see this tamer. He lays it on.
Wilt come or follow? Stefano?
Laken, sir. I can go no further. My old bones aches. This amaze trod indeed through forthrights and meanders. By your patience I needs must rest me.
My lady, I cannot blame thee, who am myself attached with weariness, the dulling of my spirits. Sit down and rest. Even here will we put off our hope and keep it no further for our flatterer. He is gone, whom thus we straight to find, and the sea mocks our frustrate search on land. Well, let him go.
I'm right glad you so out of hope. Do not for one repose forgo the purpose that you resolve to effect.
The next advantage will we take throughly.
Let it be tonight, for now they are pressed with travel. They will not nor cannot use such vigilance as when they are fresh.
I say tonight, no more.
What harmony is this? My good friends, hark!
Oh, marvelous, sweet music.
Give us kind keepers, heavens! What were these?
A living drollery. Now I will believe that there are unicorns, that in Arabia there is one tree, the phoenix throne. One phoenix at this hour reigning there.
Believe both, and what else does one credit? Come to me and I'll be sworn 'tis true. Travelers ne'er did lie, though fools at home condemn 'em.
If in Naples I should report this now, would they believe me if I should say I saw such islanders? For certes, these are people of the island, who though they are of monstrous shape, yet note, their manners are more gentle, kind, than of our human generation you shall find many, nay, almost any.
Good madam, thou hast said well. For some of you there present are worse than devils.
I cannot too much muse, such shape, such sound, and such gesture. Although they want the use of tongue, a kind of excellent dumb discourse.
Praise in departing.
Well, they vanished strangely.
No matter, since they have left their viands behind, for we have stomachs. Will't please you to taste of what is here?
Not I.
Faith, sir, you need not fear. When we were children, who would believe that there were mountaineers dewlapped like bulls, whose throats had hanging out 'em wallets of flesh, or that there were such men whose heads stood in their breasts, which now we find each putter out of 5 for 1 will bring us good warrant of.
I will stand to and feed, although my last, no matter, since I feel the best is past. Brother, my lord the Duke, stand to, and do as we.
You are 3 men of sin, whom destiny hath caused to belch up you and on this island where man doth not inhabit. You, mongst men being most unfit to live, I have made you mad! And even with such like valor men hang and drown their proper selves. You fools! I and my fellows are ministers of fate. The elements of whom your swords are tempered may as well wound the loud winds, or with the muck that stabs, kill the still closing waters, as diminish one dowel that's in my plume. My fellow ministers are like invulnerable. If you could hurt, your swords are now too massy for your strengths and will not be uplifted. But remember, for that's my business to you. You 3 from Millen did supplant good Prospero, him and his innocent child, for which foul deed the powers delaying, not forgetting, have incensed the seas and shores, yea, all the creatures against your peace. Thee of thy son Alonso they have bereft, and do pronounce by me lingering perdition, worse than any death.
Bravely the figure of this harpy hast thou performed, my peril. The grace it had devouring. Of my instruction hast thou nothing bated in what thou hadst to say. So with good life and observation strange my meaner ministers their several kinds have done. My high charms work. And these mine enemies are all knit up in their distractions. They now are in my power. And in these fits I leave them, while I visit young Ferdinand, whom they suppose is drowned, and his and mine loved darling.
In the name of something holy, sir, I stand you in its grace there.
Oh, this is monstrous! Monstrous! Methought the billows spoke and told me of it, the winds did sing it to me, and the thunder that deep and dreadful organ pipe pronounced the name of Prosper. It did base my trespass. Therefore my son in the ooze is bedded, and there I'll seek him deeper than e'er plummet sounded, and with him there lie mudded.
But one fiend at a time, I'll fight their legions o'er.
I'll be thy second.
All 3 of them are desperate. Their great guilt like poison, given to work a great time after, now begins to bite the spirits. I do beseech you that our suppler joins. Follow them swiftly, and hinder them from what this ecstasy may now provoke them to.
Follow, I pray you.
If I have too austerely punished you, your compensation makes amends, for I have given you here a third of mine own life, for that for which I live, which once again I tended to thy hand. All thy vexations were but my trials of thy love, and thou hast strangely stood the test. Here, for heaven, I ratify this my rich gift. Oh, Ferdinand, do not smile at me that I boast her off, for thou shalt find she will outstrip all praise and make a pulse behind her.
I do believe it, against an oracle.
Then is my gift, and thine own acquisition worthily purchased. Take my daughter, but if thou dost break her virgin knot before all sanctimonious ceremonies may with full and holy rite be ministered, no sweet aspersion shall the heavens let fall to make this contract grow. But barren hate, sour-eyed dismay, and discord shall bestrew the union of your bed with weeds so loathly that you shall hate it both Therefore take heed, as
As I hope for quiet days, fair issue and long life, with such love as 'tis now, the murkiest den, the most opportune place that the strongest suggestion harbors a genius can, shall never melt my honor into lust, to take away the edge of that day's celebration when I shall think, or Phoebus' deeds are foundered, or night kept chained below.
Fairly spoke. Sit then and talk with her, she is thine own. But Ariel, my industrious servant Ariel.
What would my potent master? Here I am.
Thou and thy meaner fellows your last service did worthily perform, but I must use you in such another trick. Go bring the rebel over whom I give thee power here to this place. Incite them to quick motion, for I must bestow upon the eyes of this young couple some vanity of mine art. It is my promise, and they expect it from me.
Presently?
Aye, with a twink.
Before you can say come and go, and breathe twice and cry, so, each one tripping on his toe will be here with mop and mow. Do you love me, master? No.
Dearly, my delicate Ariel. Do not approach till thou dost hear me call.
Well, I conceive.
Look thou be true. Do not give dalliance too much the rein. The strongest oaths are straw to the fire and the blood. Be more abstemious, or else good night your vow.
I warrant you, sir, the white, cold virgin snow upon my heart abates the ardor of my liver.
Well. Now come, my Ariel. Bring a corollary rather than want a spirit. Appear unpertly. No tongue, all eyes be silent.
Ceres, most bounteous lady, thy rich lees of wheat, rye, barley, fetches, oats, and peas, thy turfy mountains will have nibbling sheep, and flat meads thatched with stover them to keep. Thy banks with pioned and tulip brims, with spongy April thy hesp betrims, to make cold nymphs chase crowns. And thy broom groves, whose shadow the dismissive bachelor loves, being less lorn. Thy pole-clipped vineyards and thy sea marge, sterile and rocky hard, where thou thyself dost err, the queen of the sky, whose watery autumn messenger am I, bids thee leave these, and with her sovereign grace, here, on this grass plot, in this very place, to come and sport, of peacocks fly amain. Approach, rich Ceres, here to entertain.
Hail, many-colored messenger, that ne'er dost disobey the wife of Jupiter, who with thy saffron wings upon my flowers diffusest honey drops, refreshing showers, and with each end of thy blue bow dost crown my bosky acres and my unshrubbed down, rich scarf to my proud earth. Why hath thy queen summoned me hither to this short-grassed green?
A contract of true love to celebrate, and some donation freely to a stake on the blessed lovers.
Tell me, heavenly foe, if Venus and her son, as thou dost know, do now attend the queen. Since they did plot the means that dost kiss my daughter got, her and her blind boy's scandaled company I have forsworn.
Of her society be not afraid. I met her deity cutting the clouds towards Paphos, and her son, dove drawn with her. Here thought they to have done some wanton charm on this man and maid, whose vows are that no bedright shall be paid till Hymen's torch be lighted. But in vain, Mars' hot minion is returned again. Her waspers-headed son has broke his arrows, swears he will shoot no more, but play with sparrows and be a boy right out.
Highest queen of state, great Juno comes. I know her by her gait.
How does my bounteous sister? Go with me to bless this twain, that they may prosperous be, and honored in their issue. Honor, riches, marriage, blessing, long continuance and increasing. Hourly joys be still upon you. Juno sings her blessings on you.
Earths increase and voice in plenty, barns and garners never empty, vines with clustering bunches growing, plants with goodly burden blowing. Spring come to you at the farthest, in the very end of harvest. Scarcity and want shall shun you. Ceres' blessing, so is on you.
This is a most majestic vision, and harmonious charmingly. May I be bold to think these spirits?
Spirits, which by mine arts I have from their confines called to enact my present fancies.
Let me live here ever. So rare a wondered father and a wise makes this place
Sweet now,
paradise.
silence. Juno and Ceres whisper seriously, there's something else to do. Hush and be mute, or else our spell is marred.
You nymphs called naiads of the winding brooks, with your scent crowns and ever harmless looks, leave your crisp channels, and on this green land answer your summons. Juno does command. Come, temperate nymphs, and help to celebrate a contract of true love. Be not too late. You sunburned sicklemen of August weary, come hither from the furrow and be merry. Make holiday, your rye straw hats put on, and these fresh nymphs encounter everyone in country footing.
I had forgot the foul conspiracy of the beast Caliban and his companions against my life. The minute of their plot is almost come. Well done, avoid, no more!
This is strange. Your father's in some passion that works him strongly.
Till this day saw I him touched with anger so distempered.
You do look, my son, in a moved sort, as if you were dismayed. Be cheerful, sir. Our revels now are ended. And these are actors, as I foretold you, are all spirits and are mounted into air, into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, yea, the great globe itself, and all which it inherit, shall dissolve. And like this baseless fabric insubstantial, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on in our little life is rounded with the sleep. Sir, I am vexed. Bear with my weakness, my old brain is troubled. If you be pleased, retire into my cell and there repose. A turn or two I'll walk to still my beating mind.
We wish your peace.
Come with a thought. I think the Ariel come.
Thy thoughts I came to, what's thy pleasure?
Spirit, we must prepare to meet with Caliban.
Aye, my commander. When I presented Ceres, I thought to have told thee, but feared lest I might anger thee.
Say again, didst thou leave these varlets?
I told you, sir, they were red hot with drinking, so full of valor that they smoked the air for breathing in their faces, beat the ground for kissing of their feet, yet always bending toward their project. Then I beat my tabor, at which, like unbacked colts, they pricked their ears, advanced their eyelids, lifted their noses as they smelled music. So I charmed their ears, that calf-like they my lowing followed through sharp furzes, pricking gores, and thorns, which enter their frail shins. At last I left them in the filthy mantled pool beyond your cell, there dancing up to the chins that the foul lake o'erstunk their feet.
This was well done, my bird. Thy shape invisible retain thou still. The trumpery in my house go bring it hither for stale to catch these thieves. A devil. A born devil on whose nature nurture can never stick, on whom my pains humanely taken all lost. And as with age his body uglier grows, so his mind cankers. I will plague them all, even to roaring. Come hang them on this line.
softly, that the blind mole may not hear a footfall. We now are near his cell.
Monster, your fairy, what you say is a harmless fairy, has done little better than play the jack with us!
Monster, I do smell old horse piss, at which my nose is in great indignation.
So is mine. Did you hear, Monster? If I should take this pleasure against you, look you!
But I lost, Monster.
Prithee, my king, give me thy patience still. Be patient, for the prize of bringing to shall hoodwink this mischance. Therefore speak softly, else hush this midnight yet.
Aye, but to lose our bottles in the pool?
There's not only disgrace and dishonor in that, Buster, but infinite loss.
That's more to me than my wedding. Yet this is your harmless fairy, Monster.
No, fetch off my bottle, though your ears, my labor.
Prithee, my king, be quiet. Seest thou here? This is the mouth of the cell. No noise and enter. Do that good mischief, which may make this island thine own forever, and I thy Caliban, fray thy foot liquor.
Give me thy hand, as you begin to have bloody thoughts.
Oh, King Stefano! Oh, peer! Oh, worthy Stefano! Look what a wardrobe is here for thee!
Let it alone, thou fool! It is but trash!
Oh, Monster! We know it belongs to frippery!
Put up that gown, Dracula, by this hand. Oh, have that gown.
Thy grace shall have it!
Thrusting drum, this fool! What do you mean to dote us on such luggage? Let it alone and do the murder first. If he awake from toe to ground, he'll fill our skins with pinches and make us strange stuff, master!
Be you quiet, Monster. Mr. Slime, is this not my jerkin? Now's the jerkin under the line. No, jerkin, you're like to lose your hair from a bald jerkin.
Do. We still by line and level answer like your grace.
I thank me, Dave, for that jest. Here's a garment for it, which shall not go unrewarded while I am king of this country. Steel by line and level is an excellent passive bait. There's another garment for it.
Come, Monster, put some lime upon your fingers and away with the rest.
Out of none on't! We shall lose our time, and all be turned to barnacles or to apes with foreheads villainous low!
Monster, lay to your fingers. Don't you bear this away where my hogshead of wine is, or I'll turn you out of my kingdom. Don't you carry this!
Convulsions, shorten up their singers with aged cramps and more spit-spotted make them than hard or cat a mountain. They shall be hunted soundly! At this hour lie at my mercy all mine enemies. Shortly shall all my labours end, and thou shalt have the air at freedom for a little while. And do me service. Now does my project gather to a head. My charms crack not, my spirits obey, and time goes on right with this carriage. How's the day?
Past the 6th hour, my lord, which time you said our work should cease.
I did say so when first I raised the Tempest. See, my spirit, how fares the king and his followers?
Confined together in the same fashion as you gave in charge, just as you left them. All prisoners, sir, in the lime grove at where defends your cell. They cannot budge till your release. The king, his brother, and yours abide together, distracted, and the remainder mourning over them, brimful of sorrow and dismay. But chiefly she that you term, sir, the good lady Gonzala. Her tears run down her cheeks like winter drops from eaves of reeds. Your charm so strongly works them that if you now beheld them, your affections would become tender.
Dost thou think so, spirit?
Mine would, sir, were I human.
Mine shall. As thou which art but air, a touch, a feeling of their affliction, and shall not myself, one of their kind, that relish all our sharply passion as they be kindlier moved than thou art. Though with their high wrongs I am struck to the quick, yet with my nobler reason against my fury do I take part. They being penitent, the sole drift of my purpose doth extend not a frown further. Release them, Ariel. My charms I'll break. Their senses I'll restore, and they shall be themselves.
I'll fetch them, sir.
Elves of hills, brooks, standing lakes and groves, and you that on the sands with printless foot do chase the ebbing Neptune and do fly him when he comes back. You demi-puppets that by moonshine to the green sour ringlets make whereof the yew not bites. And you whose pastime is to make midnight mushrooms that rejoice to hear the solemn curfew. By a weak masters though ye be, I have bedimmed the noontide sun, called forth the mutinous winds, and twixt the green sea and the azure vault set roaring war. To the dread rattling thunder have I given fire, and rifted Jove's stout oak with his own bolt. The strong based promontory have I made shake, and by the spurs plucked up the pine and cedar. Graves at my command have waked their sleepers, oped, and let them forth by my so potent art. But this rough magic I here abjure, and when I have required some heavenly music, which even now I do, to work mine end upon their senses that this very charmless for, I'll break my staff, bury it certain fathoms in the earth, and deeper than the plummet ever sound, I'll drown my book. A solemn air, and the best comforter to an unsettled fancy, cure thy brains now boiled useless within thy skull. There, stand, for you are spell stopped! Holy Gonzalo, honorable lady, mine eyes seem sociable to the show of thy full fellow. The charm dissolves apace, and as the morning steals upon the night, melting the darkness, so their rising senses begin to chase the ignorant fumes that mantle their clear reason. O good Gonzalo, my true preserver and a loyal lady to him thou followest, I will pay thy graces home, both in word and deed. Most cruelly didst thou, Alonso, use me and my daughter. Thy brother was a furtherer in the act. Thou art benched for him now, Sebastian. Flesh and blood. You, brother mine, that entertained ambition, expelled remorse and nature, who with Sebastian, whose inward pinches therefore are most strong, would here have killed your king, me to forgive thee, unnatural though thou art. Their understanding begins to swell, and the approaching tide will shortly fill the reasonable shore that now lies foul and muddy. Not one of them that yet looks on me or would know me. Ariel, fetch me the coat within my cell. I will discase me and myself present as I was sometime melon. Quickly, spirit, thou shalt alone be free.
Where the bee sucks, there suck I. In the cowslip's bell I lie. There I couch when owls do cry. On the bat's back I do fly. After summer merrily. Merrily, merrily I live now. Under the blossom that hangs on the bough.
That's my dainty Ella, I shall miss thee. But yet thou shalt have the air of freedom. To the kingship, invisible as thou art, there shalt thou find the mariners asleep under the hatches. The master and the boatswain being awake, incite them to this place, and presently, I pray thee.
All torment, trouble, wonder, and amazement, inhabits with some heavenly power guide us out of this fearful country.
Behold, Sir King, the wronged Duke of Milan Prospero, for more assurance that a living prince does now speak to thee, I embrace thy body. And to thee and thy company I bid a hearty welcome.
Where thou beest, he or no, or some enchanted trifle to abuse, as late I have been, I not know. Thy pulse beats as of flesh and blood. And since I saw thee, the affliction of my mind amends with which I fear a madness held me. This must grave. And if this be at all, a most strange story. Thy dukedom I resign, and to entreat thou pardon me my wrongs. But how should Prospero be living, and be here?
First noble friend, let me embrace thine age whose honor cannot be measured or confined.
Whether this be or be not, I'll not swear.
You do yet taste some subtleties of the isle that will not let you believe things certain. Welcome, my friends all. But you, my brace of lords, were I so minded I here could pluck his highness's frown upon you. At this time I will tell no tales.
The devil speaks in him.
No. For you, most wicked sir, whom to call brother would even infect my mouth, I do forgive thy rankest fault, all of them, and require my dukedom of thee, which perforce I know thou must restore.
If thou beest Prospero, give us particulars of thy preservation, how thou hast met us here, whom 3 hours since were racked upon this shore, where I have lost. How sharp the point of this remembrance is, my dear son Ferdinand.
I am woe for it, sir.
Irreparable is the loss, and patience says it is past her cure.
I rather think you have not sought her help, of whose kind aid for the like loss I have her sovereign aid, and rest myself content.
You, the like loss?
As great to me as late, and supportable to make the dear loss, have I means much weaker than you may call to comfort you. For I have lost a daughter.
A daughter? Oh, heavens! Consala, that they were living both in Naples, the king and queen there! That they were, I wish myself were muddied in that oozy bed where my son lies. When did you lose your daughter?
In this last Tempest.
Oh, gods!
I perceive these lords of this encounter do so much admire that they devour their reason and scarce think their eyes do offices of truth. But howsoever you have been jostled from your senses, know for certain that I am Prospero, and that very duke which was thrust forth of Milan, who most strangely upon this shore where you were landed, was landed to be the Lord on it. But no more yet of this, for 'tis a chronicle of day by day, not a relation for a breakfast, nor befitting this first meeting. Welcome, sir. This cell's my court. Here have I few attendants and subjects none abroad. Pray you look in. My dukedom, since you have given me again, I will requite you with as good a thing at least. Bring for the wonder to content you as much as me, my dukedom.
Sweet lord, you play me false.
No, my dearest love, I would not for the world.
Yes. For a score of kingdoms you should wrangle, and I would call it fair play.
If this should prove a vision of the islands, one dear son shall I twice lose.
A most high miracle.
Though the seas threaten, they are merciful. I have cursed them without cause.
All the blessings of a glad father compass thee about. Arise and say how thou camest hither.
Wonder, how many goodly creatures are there here? How beauteous mankind is. Oh, brave new world that has such people in't.
'Tis near to thee.
What is this maid with whom thou wast at play? Thy eldest acquaintance cannot be 3 hours. Is she the goddess that hath severed us and brought us thus together?
Sir, she is mortal, but by a mortal providence she's mine. I chose her when I could not ask my father for his advice, nor thought I had one. She is daughter to this famous Duke of Milan, of whom so often I have heard now but never saw before, of whom I have received a second life. And second father, this lady makes him to me.
I am hers. But how oddly will it sound that I must ask my child forgiveness?
There, sir, stop. Let us not burden our remembrance with a heaviness that's gone.
I have inly wept. I should have spoke ere this. Look down, you gods, and on this couple drop a blessed crown. For it is you that have trod forth the way which brought us hither.
I say, Amen, Gonzala!
Was Milan thrust from Milan, that his issue should become kings of Naples? Oh, rejoice beyond a common joy, and set it down with gold on lasting pillars. In one voyage did Claribel her husband find at Tunis. Ferdinand, her brother, found a wife, for he himself was lost. Prospero, his dukedom, in a poor isle. And all of us, ourselves, when no man was his own.
Give me your hands. Let grief and sorrow still embrace his heart that doth not wish you joy.
Be it so, amen. Oh, look, sir, here is more of us. I prophesied if a gallows were on land, this fellow could not drown. No, blasphemy, that swearest grace or board, not an oath on shore. Hast thou no mouth by land? What is the news?
The best news is that we have safely found our king and company. The next, our ship, which but 3 glasses since we gave out split, is tight and yare and bravely rigged as when we first put out to sea.
Sir, all this service have I done since I went.
Tricksy spirit.
These are not natural events. They strengthen from strange to stranger. Say how thou camest hither.
If I did think, sir, I were well awake, I'd strive to tell you. We were dead of sleep, and how we know not, all clapped under hatches, where but even now with strange and several noises of roaring, shrieking, howling, and jingling of chains, all and more diversity of sounds, all horrible, we were awaked, straightway at liberty, where we in all our trim freshly beheld our royal, good, and gallant ship, our master capering guy her on a trice, so please you, even in a dream, were we divided from them and brought moping hither.
Was't well done?
Bravely, my diligence. Thou shalt be free.
This is as strange a maze as e'er men trod. And there is in this business more than nature was ever conduct of. Some article must rectify our knowledge.
Sir, my liege, do not infest your mind with beating on the strangeness of this business. At picked leisure, which shall be shortly, single I'll resolve you, which to you shall seem probable of every these happened accidents. Till when be cheerful, and think of each thing well. Come hither, spirit. Set Caliban and his companions free, untie the spell. How fares my gracious lady? There are yet missing of your company some few odd lads that you remember not.
Every man ship for all the rest, and let no man take care for himself. For all is good fortune. Courageous, oh master, courageous.
If these be truth lies I now wear in my head, here's a goodly sight.
Oh, Santabos, these be brave spirits indeed! How fine my master is! I'm afraid he will chastise me!
Mark but the badges of these men, my lords. and say if they be true. This misshapen knave, his mother was a witch, and one so strong she could control the moon, make flows and ebbs, and deal in her command without her power. These three have robbed me. And this demi-devil, for he's a bastard one, had plotted with him to take my life. Two of these fellows you must know and own. This thing of darkness! I acknowledge mine.
I shall be pinched to death!
Trinculo, how camest thou in this pickle?
I have been in such a pickle since I saw you last that I fear me will never out of my bones. I shall not fear fly blowing.
Stefano,
Touch me not. I'm not Stefano, but a crab.
You would be king of the isle, sir.
It would have been a sore one then.
this is as strange a thing as e'er I looked on.
He is as disproportioned in his manners as in his looks. Go, sirrah, to my cell. As you look to have my pardon, trim it handsomely.
Aye, that I will. And I'll be wise hereafter and seek for grace. What a thrice double ass was I to take this drunken for God and worship this dull fool!
Go to, away.
Hansen, bestow your luggage where you found it.
Or stole it, rather.
Sir, I invite your highness and your train to my poor cell where you shall spend the night, part of which I'll waste with such discourse as I not doubt shall make it go quick away. The story of my life, and the particular accidents gone by since I came to this isle. And in the morn, I'll bring you to your ship, and thence to Naples, where I have hoped to see the nuptial of these our dear beloved solemnized. And then retire me to my millen, where every third thought shall be my grave.
I long to hear the story of your life, which must take the ear strangely.
I'll deliver all, and promise you calm seas, auspicious gale, and sails so expeditious that you'll catch your royal feet far off. And on my cheek. That is thy charge. Then to the elements be free, and fare thou well. Please you, draw near. Now thy charms are all overthrown, and what strength I has mine own, which is most faint. Now 'tis true I must be here confined by you, or sent to Naples. Let me not, since I have my dukedom got, and pardon the deceiver dwell on this fair island by your spell. But release me from my bands, with the help of your good hands. Gentle breath of yours my sails must fill, or else my project fails, which was to please. Now I want spirits to enforce, art to enchant, and my ending is despair, unless I be relieved by prayer, which pierces so that it assaults mercy itself, and frees all faults. As you from crimes would pardon be, let your indulgence set me free.
stay for our cast party tonight. Dina Shi will be playing for us. And let's have a hand for Leanne Hussey, who composed the music. And I'd like to thank my technical crew, Tasho and Karanad. And I'd like to thank everyone